We now will go over solar panels on the ground. Solar panels on the ground was introduced in ASCE 722, so you will only see the solar panel on ground option if you select the 2022 version or later. On the General tab, go to Structure Type and then select Solar Panels on Ground. Now we move on to the MWFRS analysis method and select Chapter 29, as that is the only one that is valid for solar panels. Next, click the C&C method, and since this is on the ground, the components and cladding is not applicable, and so we select None. We then go to the Solar Panels on Ground tab at the top of the screen, and we can see all of the inputs for the solar panels. Before going forward, it's beneficial to know that there is a Help button at the window. Within the Help is a diagram which can be helpful for understanding the inputs, as well as some explanation on each input. There are a lot of values that must be input, and it is useful to notice that the graphic on the screen changes dynamically with each input to give you visual cues regarding whether your inputs are correct. First, we enter the mean height of the panel. This is the distance from grade to the mean height of the panel. Refer to the Help graphic for more detail. Next, we enter the chord length of the panel in the direction of the panel slope. Now we enter the chord width of the panel, which is the length of the panel perpendicular to the direction the panel is sloping. Enter the panel angle relative to the ground surface. Next, specify the number of rows that go in the direction of the slope, which is the Y direction. Then specify the number of columns that is the direction perpendicular to the panel slope, which is the X direction. Enter the center-to-center row spacing of the panels, which is in the Y direction. Each panel is comprised of cells. The SP parameter is the spacing between those cells in both directions. The graphic will not change with regard to the value you enter, but it is used for the calculations. Now we specify the spacing between the panel rows, which would be the spacing in the Y direction. Please note that the S and ST parameters are related, and changing one will automatically change the other. Then we specify the spacing between the panel columns, which would be the spacing in the X direction. The row length is automatically calculated based upon the other inputs. Finally, we must enter the natural frequency and damping. There is some guidance in ASCE 7 for these values. Please refer to the Help for more detail on those topics. There are a lot of inputs and they can get confusing. One tip is that when you are not sure about a certain input, enter an extreme value and then look at the graphic to get a feel for what that parameter controls. You will notice quickly that it is very easy to get warnings and errors on individual cells when entering data. There are a lot of limitations on the solar panel criteria in ASCE 7, and we have added those same limitations to the software. We understand that it can be quite frustrating when you get those errors. When you see a warning or error, hover your mouse over the colored corner of the box and some more guidance on why there is an error should show up in the tooltip. Now that everything has been modeled, we click Perform Analysis to view the calculations.